Yeah, road. A lot of professionals use road equipment. I mean, it was a pretty good. I mean, $25 from B&H photo for this little adapter piece, and it works great. I just needed something for when we do our painting streams and when I do on-camera video stuff. Seriously? What? Hey internets, it's Jake from Mini Terrain Domain, and this is Dawnbringers, Heart of the Nightfang Spire, and this is episode 12 of season 4, Ashes, Ashes, They All Fall Down. And we are starting this session off, apparently with a hype train. It looks like chat is in your corner, Dawnbringers. They want to see more domain dice. We've had 3 subscriptions just in the last couple moments here. So while I'm adjusting these numbers real quick, we'll just go ahead and tell you what domain dice are before we get into the recap and get going on this session. Domain dice, if you look above Dan and V's heads, Drown and Cantriel there, you'll see a bunch of them. It currently says 105, but I'm going to adjust that to 108. Every time you subscribe, every time you resubscribe, if you tip the channel $5, or if you drop 500 bits, every time you do things like that, or if we get rated, the Dawnbringers will earn another domain die, such as Talon and Claw gifting a tier 1 sub. That's going to get you another domain die. These domain dice, the rules are now showing up in chat, and they will periodically show along the bottom of the screen. They allow the players to re-roll, take new rolls, all the way up to what may come in handy tonight, turning failed death saves into successful death saves, and the Patron's Blessing, spending 5 domain dice to turn a hit into a super crit. That is a double max damage critical hit. You guys have earned just in the... We've been on the air for like 2 minutes, and you've gotten 5 domain dice already. So people do not like to see you down below the 100. And yes, there is an option. 3 domain dice per person will allow you to spend your hit dice. In a combat, I would say you can do that as an action. We've never specified that. But in combat, that would be as an action. You can basically treat it like a sort of like a second wind, super second wind. So keep that in mind. Couple of quick announcements, and there's another couple of domain dice for you. Spike always taking up that domain dice mantle, already pushing you up. Let's see, that's 2 more, so that's going to put you at, there we go. It's almost as if people watched last week and they saw what happened, or they just want to keep that hype train going. I do want to draw your attention real quick down to the lower left hand corner of the screen where our friend Yes Ferratu is hanging out, and you'll see some logos down there, one for Jasper's Game Day, one for Initiative Coffee Company, and one for Talon and Claw. We are partnered with Jasper's Game Day, a wonderful charity organization dedicated to the education about and raising awareness, as well as the elimination of suicide through tabletop gaming. If you type !Jasper in the chat, that will bring up a link where you can donate directly to Jasper's Game Day to help fund their efforts. If you type !Coffee in the chat, you'll be taken to a link where you can purchase Metade Roast Coffee, a collaboration between Initiative Coffee Company's Help Action and myself to bring you a wonderful flavored coffee. For every 12-ounce bag that you purchase, $3 of that goes directly to Jasper's Game Day. If you type !Sponsor in the chat, you will be taken to a link where you can go check out the Talon and Claw storefront on Etsy. Talon and Claw, they make absolutely incredible dice vaults, DM screens. He's got a great selection of Pride vaults in a variety of spectral woods, spectral ply woods, hero vaults that allow you to have a couple extra sets of dice, as well as putting your minis in there. He's got a laser you can't buy the laser, but you can buy things that he's used the laser on. And ever since he got the laser, he's been lasing everything. So you can get a lot of cool new stuff. So anyway, be sure to check them out at that link. And when you pick out your favorite items and you head to the checkout, be sure to type in code MTDClaw and get 10% off your purchase. So absolutely do check them out. We are very proud to be partnered with Talon and Claw. A huge thank you to D&D Beyond, who has granted us insider access. I am running the encounter, using the encounter builder to run this massive encounter we're about to step into. And you can mouse over the screen and you can see all of these characters and what dire situation they're in. I see 2 characters in the red, 1 on death saving throws. It's a party. So thank you, D&D Beyond, for that. We've already talked about domain dice. Only one thing remains. This is our most important message that we give out continually on here. And I'm going to emphasize it a little bit extra. I've had a crummy week. And judging from what I've seen on social media, I'm not the only one. And I think that goes more and more these days. Mental health is important, and mental health is something that should be okay to talk about. And we should be able to talk about when everything sucks. And this week I felt like no, I just don't want to. And I took some time off for myself. Even it was just a couple hours, but I turned off my computer, I turned off my phone, I listened to some music, and I painted. And that's what self-care looked like for me. You need to find out what your self-care is and just take time for yourself. It's absolutely essential. But we realize that things sometimes are beyond a simple diversionary task or taking some time for yourself. Sometimes you're in desperate need and you absolutely need somebody to talk to. And that's why you can come here to Mini Terrain Domain at any time, day or night, whether we're streaming or not. Go to our chat here and type in !help. And some incredible resources will pop up. I just saw that there was, I don't know if it was a bill or what it was that was passed, but they're in the stages. It's been approved and it will take a couple years to implement. But there is a new 3-digit code that is going to be available for these lifelines, such as you see when you type help in the chat, which I'm going to do right now, so you can see those. If you're in the United States here, you can call the National Suicide Lifeline at 1-800-273-TALK. That's 1-800-273-8255. Or you can text 741-741. If you are active duty military or a veteran of the armed services, you can press the number 1 after dialing that number, and you'll be connected with a military specialized counselor. There are also Canadian resources there as well, both text lines in English and French, as well as the phone number. And there is a link there. If you are from elsewhere in the world, please click on that link, and you will find resources from around the world, wherever you may be. So please use that if you need it. We care about you. You matter, and you need to know that. With that, we are going to do something that I've been looking forward to all week, and that is we're going to play some Dungeons and Dragons. I don't know if... I'm going to kill some of my friends. Exactly. That's what I told Em when we first started. Em and I were the first two that were on the call, and they said, "How are you doing?" And I said, "Pretty good, considering I'm about to kill 6 of my best friends." So we're going to do a quick recap, and then we'll start rolling some dice. So the Dawnbringers have been continually making their way through the Spire, going ever further down. And on the most recent ventures, they found things getting dustier. They seem to have wandered into a level where it is some sort of crematorium. There have been ashes and urns full of ashes everywhere. The handfuls of Girlon and zombie servitors that were working didn't even want to engage with them. Word of the Dawnbringers is spreading, and it seems that they want nothing to do with them. That didn't stop a couple of them from laying waste to the zombies that were in their path, lest they leave them behind. So eventually they wound their way through to a room that is a large semicircular room. In this room, the ceilings are 40 feet high. The floor is covered in inches, in some places a foot or more, of ash and bone fragments and other things. The center of the room, rising almost completely to the 40-foot high ceiling, is a massive burning fire. On the other side of the fire, in the center of the curved wall to the north, is a large set of double doors. They decided to make a run for it, or rather to make a go for the doors, when the fire suddenly grew intensely hot and pushed all the way to the door, catching all of them. But I believe Cantriel was the only one that didn't get fully immolated. In the fire blast, Fig had what was the third of these bizarre sort of fugue states in which he was seeing through another's eyes, apparently. Somebody who appears to be moving, traversing through the Underdark. They made a leap across a chasm, a seemingly impossible leap, and nearly fell. And in that moment, Fig felt the lurch in his stomach, felt the intense heat, was back in this room, and crashed into the ash on the floor. As Fig's party members are taking the brunt of this heat as well, Fig has fallen unconscious at their feet. We have already rolled for initiative. Cantriel, the blast has just receded. The air is still hot in your face where you dashed back out of the way, just avoiding getting the full blast. But you see the rest of the Dawnbringers all around you, hair singed. You smell the burning flesh. You see them in bad shape. What are you going to do?
And is the creature in the center of the room still there?
Yes, the fire had taken on almost a humanoid appearance, towering, impossibly tall, and is clearly more than just a flame. It is some sort of massive elemental that intends to prevent you from further progress.
How far is Fig from me?
I would say at this point, because nobody had fully entered the room, that you're all clustered in this 10-foot wide hallway. Fig and Drown were the closest to the door, because Drown had used Mage Hand. I believe it was Drown had used Mage Hand to pull this potion that Fig had identified magically as being under the ash. So I would say Fig is sort of at your feet, just inside the door, having collapsed into the ash.
I'm doing Cure Wounds on Fig then.
All right, immediately Cantriel kneels down, and you would be able to sort of grasp at Fig's legs immediately.
So then that is 13 points healing.
Cantriel pours healing magic into you, Fig, and though there's no catch of breath, there's that sudden, barely have they had a moment to dim, then the lights in your eyes, that blue arcane light, sort of powers back up.
And you said are right by the door still?
Yeah, you're all right in the doorway. It is one of these 5-foot doors. But with Fig down, it's enough that if anybody wanted to move into the room, you could do so moving through the space. Otherwise, you're in the hallway. And yes, you have a clear shot.
I just use my action healing.
Yeah. As a reminder,
can I like sort of fall back, or would I be engaging an attack of opportunity?
No. This thing is still in the center of this room, which is 30 feet from door to door. So the doorway that you guys are in, it's 30 feet across to the other door. The room is about 70 feet wide. The entire north wall is a curve following the outside edge, the curve of the tower. This thing is about 15 feet away from you. It did sort of a inferno blast that caught all of you in it. A living fireball, if you will. So you could absolutely move without engaging an opportunity attack.
And I couldn't pull Fig with me, right?
It'll cost you half your movement, and you need to make a strength check because Fig is pretty heavy.
Heavy, I know. I only want to get so I can just tuck us behind the door.
Yeah, you can absolutely do it. You can get it 15 feet away if you can make a athletics check.
Athletics?
Yep.
Okay. Oh, thank God. 15.
Yeah. This sort of adrenaline's pushing into you, and you grab a hold. I imagine you didn't even let go when you cast your cure wounds. Seeing the situation, you just grab with the other hand and drown at your feet. Cantriel just pulls with a lurch Fig out of the way, dragging ash. This ash sort of puffs up into the air some more, but you're able to pull yourself and Fig 15 feet back into the hallway. Next up, Griveth. And Griveth, you're not up next, but I'm addressing you. Since everybody's sort of clustered in the hallway here, and Cantriel is otherwise engaged, kind of pulling, I imagine the rest of you are sort of pushing to the sides a little bit. Griveth, you suddenly hear right behind you a sound. You should never have attacked me. And Ronald has appeared behind you and is going to attack you. It's very close quarters, so I don't think a 14 is going to get through your defenses as you feel his talons rake across your armor. He, in frustration, I will get you. I will draw your blood. And that is going to be, as he goes in for a bite, he gets tangled up in the scales of your armor, Griveth. That is a natural 1, which, as you know, will allow you to make an opportunity attack against Ronald. I was so tempted to re-roll that, and I'm like, wait, that's a 1.
Thank you.
So yeah, he gets tangled up in your white dragon scale armor.
Okay, that was a 19.
Yes, that is going to hit Ronald.
All right, buddy. Oh crap, hold on.
Do you want to turn that into a crit there, Griveth?
You mean like a super crit?
Yeah.
You've got the domain dice for it.
Sure, why not?
All right. Well, that is automatic double max damage.
Okay, that's 68 points of damage.
All right, let me go ahead and change that. That's what it looks like when you spend 5 domain dice to turn a hit into a super crit. And that was, what'd you say, 68. 68. You barely move, just shifting your weight. Dawnbringer already drawn at the ready since you've been in this tower. And you just sort of pivot and drive the glowing blade into I almost said Griveth, into Ronald.
Ouch.
And you all
Yeah.
you all are going to get those 5 domain dice right back, as Tamiko has just gifted 5 gift subscriptions to
Awesome. Thank
the
you.
chat. Somebody wants this to be an incredible encounter, and I'm here for it.
Griveth is like, didn't you get enough to Dawnbringer the first time?
And this close, and with this vulture face almost right next to yours, you can see the fear in Ronald's eyes and instant regret as you all but say, you came to the wrong neighborhood.
Yeah.
Drown. It is your turn.
Exactly.
Okay, cool. So now we have a demon behind us and a big old... Does it look like a fire elemental, or does it look like something different?
It looks like a roughly 30-foot tall humanoid-shaped fire. Though it doesn't have legs, it does seem to have grown these fiery appendages.
So reminds me of, say, like I can conjure elementals. Looks like just
then yeah, you would definitely
granddaddy of fire elementals.
Yeah, this looks like
okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. All right. Well, that's cool. That's cool, man. Oh boy. I am jacked up. So I guess for my action, I'm going to cast Armor of Agathis and sort of pour seawater out of my black tentacle tattoos that runs over my body and then freezes into these jagged shards of sea ice. And as a bonus action, I will use my Grasp of the Deep to conjure a tentacle, a spectral watery tentacle up by the elemental and strike at it and try to deal some cold damage.
All right.
That's a big hit. 27 for
Yes.
9 points of cold damage.
Yes, that is absolutely going to... Where did it go?
And casting Armor of Agathis does not...
You said that was 9, right?
Yeah, 9 points.
There's this... As this tentacle lashes out, it looks almost like it hurt the tentacle more than it hurt the fire elemental, as there's just this...
That is probable. And that will be my turn. Is it possible to take cover kind of around the door frame from this thing, or are we too packed into this space?
You guys are pretty packed in here. I would say to a certain extent, you probably could, since you were right at the door. It's a 5-foot wide door in a 10-foot wide hall centered. So you've got about 2.5 feet on either side. So if you kind of put yourself up against the door jamb.
I'll press myself up against the side wall as much as I can, try and take a little bit of cover.
Okay. So you do not see this then. But Griveth, Thorgarn, Talmud, and I imagine even Cantriel, you're 15 feet. You're just at where the hallway curves back around to the west. Inside this room, you see 4 spots within the ash piles begin to glow a brilliant orange. about 5 feet in front of the door, spaced about 10 feet apart from each other, you see the ash begin to rise up, and it's swirling, and you see what looks like fiery lightning inside it. And then as they rise up to a height of about 8 feet, the ash just falls away, and you see armored fire elementals wielding scimitars of flame standing on either side. 2 more rise up as guardians on either side of the double doors. And who would be the closest to the door of Thorgarn, Talmud, and Griveth? Talmud and Griveth.
Wasn't Griveth all the way in the back where the rocket?
Yeah, Griveth was in the back. They're actually not going to move. They're going to stand there, and as they rise up, you see them sort of both in sync take these dual scimitars, and they just go, and they are holding actions. That is going to take us to Griveth, who is currently engaged with Ronald.
Okay, so we're kind of like, there's the double doors, there's the skellies, or whatever, the fire scimitar guys. Then there's the big elemental in the center. And we're kind of like, we were just kind of coming in that door, right? That double door.
It's a single door. The double door is on the other
Door, I'm
side.
sorry.
Yep.
Oh, wow. I'm thinking the double doors on the other side. Okay. So essentially the party is backed into the hallway, right? And Renal is back there with us.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to try to take a position where if that thing nukes again, it's not going to hit me. And still fight this demon creature.
You can basically pivot around him, sort of switching positions with Ronald, so that he's now towards the door.
Yeah,
and that's just a movement.
Right. Since I'm not moving away from him, in my mercenary days, I used to fight with a lot of dwarves, and they taught me this kind of pivot move, which I had to adapt because I'm quite a bit taller than dwarves, but I adapted it to my own height, and it works out well. So I can kind of pivot, just under around the creature and then get a better position to attack. So that's exactly what I'm doing, trying to take cover and get a better position, maneuver myself into a better position. So here we go. So Dawnbringer comes down again. 19 to hit.
Yep.
15 to hit.
Yes.
All right, cool. Rolling.
The light of Dawnbringer is, of course, casting shadows almost like strobe light through this hallway as you wield it back and forth. And it's almost being drowned out by the brightness of this fire elemental. What's your damage?
38 points of damage.
38. There is much demonic blood being spilled in this hallway.
Feel the searing light, evil one.
All right. All right, is that your turn, Griveth?
Yes, go back to your hell.
All right. Let's see. That's not right. There we go. It is okay. It is the fire elemental's turn. And it is going to The fire elemental is going to... You watch as it sort of arcs up and changes shape, and it funnels its entire form into the hallway. As it does so, Drown, Thorgarn, and Talmud, it is going to make its 3 attacks, one against each of you. It is also going to fill this hallway with fire, causing anybody in its area to be damaged. So, let's see. Fire. Okay. Drown. That is a 23 to hit.
Oh, that hit that day. Yeah, that hits me.
Talmud 24. And Thorgarn, only a 14.
Am I near enough to deflect any of those?
No, because of the way you repositioned yourself.
Makes sense, yes.
Hey, I'm gonna burn a couple of dice to make you re-roll that against me, if you don't mind.
Yep. 2 domain
Thank
dice
you.
to do that. So against you, it is now a 24.
Of course. Yeah. That's how that works when I do that.
Yep. So Drown, you are going to take
8.
6, 7. You're going to take 11 points of fire damage, and you are on fire.
Cool.
Talmud, you are going to take 15 points of fire damage, and you are on fire. Thorgarn, you didn't
That's
get
cool
hit.
now that Talmud's here, but all right.
And then the rest of you, including Runald, you all take, and I gotta check this. See, it's fire damage. You all are going to take 11 points of fire damage as this thing puts its entire form into the hall, filling it. All of you are getting burned by this. It pulls
so
back.
One note, Jake. When it strikes me, a bunch of those ice crystals break off and spray shards and frozen shrapnel into it.
Okay.
It's 25 cold damage.
Oh,
And the armor of
nice.
Agathis.
Nice. All right. And I think, so as that happens, it begins hissing from these shards of ice impaling into it. And you feel the fire retreating suddenly as it pulls back into the crematorium. And technically, all of you would get an opportunity attack against it because it's moving out of your space. However, just keep in mind, everybody in this hallway, because you also, Thorgarn, even though you didn't get directly hit, everybody took the 16 points of fire damage, or sorry, 11 points of fire damage, and everybody is on fire.
Okay.
That also means, Fig, that counts as a death saving throw, I believe. A failed death save.
I'm not down.
Oh no, you're not down. You got back
Fig
up
got
again.
healed. Fig got healed.
I'm still
Fig's
Jake
like,
came
"I'm
in
still-
here
I'm
with
alive."
blood in his teeth and ready for.
He could already taste it.
It's summer and I want a barbecue.
This is a tomb of annihilation. Damn it! Quit trying to chew on our souls.
I do got to give Runald, I got to check on him. I think he has, whoops. Runald, we'll take some of that. We'll take that. Okay, so everybody go ahead and take your opportunity attacks against the fire elemental as it pulls out of this space.
Like everyone or the ones who was near?
It filled the entire hallway and it's now leaving all of your spaces. So you have the option to opportunity attack it if you like.
17 to hit.
Hit.
10 damage.
I mean, I'll do it. I don't know how good arrows are for this, but
Has to be a melee attack.
Has to be
on
melee.
opportunity.
Yeah, opportunity
Okay,
attack
so
has to be a
then-
melee.
So, Jake, I'm going to lay into this thing with the Staff of the Sea, Eldritch Smite it, and burn dice to do a super crit.
Mm,
there you go.
okay.
So I'm going to burn another spell slot. My precious, precious warlock spell slots.
All right, so that's going to knock you down to from 110 to 105.
Let's see. 5, 6.
Oops. Look at these Dawnbringers burning through these domain dice.
So 1 second.
Pun
So it's a
intended.
double max damage crit. Is that right?
That is correct.
Okay. So it's 48, 52. It's going to be 104 points of damage.
What
And if it can be knocked prone, it is knocked prone. I have a feeling it might be immune to prone.
It is immune to prone.
Yeah. So
But
there's a massive explosion of bluish green energy as Drown's tattoos flare to life, coil along the shaft of the staff, and then just pummel it like the Kraken in Pirates of the Caribbean when it attacks a ship and just starts sweeping sailors and masts off the deck.
Wow. Yeah, this thing, you actually see as it's receding that after you hit it, it's like when fire is raging upwards and pieces of it seem to sort of break away. Pieces of this seem to break away and just flame out. Who else is taking opportunity attacks? Talmud? And Griveth?
It's nowhere near as impressive as that, but it was a 29 to hit and 11 points of magical slashing.
Did you get mine, Jake?
I did not.
10?
Oh,
yes, I did get yours. And Griveth?
23 to hit.
Griveth, you actually can't take an opportunity attack against it.
Oh.
You used your... Or no, wait, sorry, that was...
I wasn't able to, no. I still have my bonus, or my reaction.
You used your opportunity attack against Renauld.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. There's a tear in Griveth's eye as he sees Drown just smash this thing with amazing force. He's seen Drown work his magic, but this is like an amazing display of power that just impresses Griveth. You know how he's the glory hound, and it just super impresses Griveth that he sees this massive power stream out of Drown.
And it's almost like you wanted to take a swing at it, but that's the part of the fire that got broken away as Drown did his big damage at it.
And I'm totally fine with that.
The fire, you see, sort of just pulls right back to the center of the room, and it is noticeably smaller. It still towers, but it seems thinner. And that's going to take us to Fig.
Okay. Is Renauld still there around?
Yes, Renauld is right next to Griveth. Renauld is looking pretty bad.
Yeah. I just remembered some of the cool things that Fig has as part of his armor. I imagine that Fig has to get up, and he's not doing so well. So I imagine if Cantriel is right next to him, he's kind of holding on to her for support a little bit, and he turns so that he can face Renauld and make sure that he's positioned properly if he has line of sight. And Renauld has to make a dexterity saving throw, please.
Okay, that's going to be Dex save. That is a 24.
Roll.
Can you re-roll that? I don't know if it'll matter, but
I already had my hand. I had my hand on the domain dice button already. That is now a 15.
He just saves, but he's still going to take half damage as Fig's, you see right before you, Fig's face almost shimmers until you can see the face of a copper dragon looking, and you can almost see through it. It's almost like incorporeal. As you look, you see Fig's face just shimmering beneath these copper scales, and this mouth, this maw opens wide, and this acid comes spewing out. And that is going to be some sort of damage. That is going to be... Okay. That is going to be 68 points of acid damage.
All right. Renaud's leathery vulture-like skin begins to burn. Why? It's only the paladin I wanted.
And as a bonus action, Fig is going to extend his arm blade that he has for protection.
Dope.
Just shing.
As if the spitting acid wasn't enough, Fig pulls out a switchblade. All right. That's going to take us to Thorgarn.
All right, so how far am I away from the rock thing that they're now fighting?
The what? The Vrak?
The demon, yeah.
The demon? You're within 10 feet.
I'm going to step over, and I'm going to play Smashy Smashy with his face. Low number is a dirty 20.
That's a hit.
All right. Well, let's do this one at a time then, just to see, what's going on. I'm going to smite with both attacks. First one, let's go ahead and use a super crit. So that is 55 points of damage on the first.
How do you kill Renaud?
So the Forge Fane just basically comes right down, like through the side of his skull into his eye, and just like cleaves a huge section off.
As half of his face is missing, you hear, "Why?" And he just crumbles into ash, disappearing. As the ash pile hits the ground, it leaves behind a series of circles with a 5-pointed star in the middle that burns temporarily in the floor at your feet. That was only your first attack.
That was only my first attack, yes. So my second attack, I've got a 23 to hit, but I need to find, technically I need to move to find a target. So there's two fire dudes with scimitars, the big fire guy. What else do we have?
There's 4 fire dudes with scimitars. 2 of them are on the far side of the room guarding the door.
Am I close enough to one of them?
The fire dudes are about 25 feet away.
I have a speed of 35, so if I move 10 to get to Mr. Demon, that gives me still 25 to play with.
Can you throw one of your things and hit him without having to move in?
I can, but if I do that, then I'm not going to be able to smite. All right, I'll just throw it then. That's a 23 to hit with the throw.
Left or right?
Let's go left.
Okay.
And that is going to be a whopping 10 points of magical bludgeoning damage.
All right. 10. You hear the metallic ring as it strikes part of their red hot armor, and then comes flying back at you. All right, is that you, Talmud?
All right, I have a question for you. As Talmud reaches down at his belt and sticks his hand into a pouch that he has there. I have a pouch of dustness. I think that's what it is. No, dustness. Dust of dryness, rather. Are there any existing pellets already in the pouch?
The pouch with the dust of dryness that you found had one use left in it.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind. Balls. Let me see here. I think I'm going to have to quaff a potion.
By the way, hold on one second. I gotta check something real quick because let's see. So Fig and Thorgarn, Fig, you take 7 points of fire damage because you're still on fire. And Thorgarn, you would take 9 points of fire damage because you're still on fire. And Talmud, you're only taking 4 points of fire damage.
Oh.
Everybody caught fire when the elemental came in the hallway. And you'll take that damage at the start of your turn, unless you spend an action putting yourself out.
Well, I guess that's what I'm going to do. Clearly,
are we allowed to speak short things out of turn?
Yeah.
All right, then Drown just says, "I'll deal with the fire."
Okay. In that case,
Drown says, "Keep burning."
Just
You burn at the start of your turn. It doesn't matter.
Stay on fire. Okay, so it's probably not going to help a lot in this instance, but I'm going to go into rage. The tattoos start to glow, and Talmud then charges in as a visage kind of appears before him. And then he's going to run up and, because why the hell not, recklessly attack this thing.
As you charge in, both Myrmidons, as I just accidentally told you what they are, not that it's a secret, but we're holding their actions for somebody to come in the room. They are going to attack you.
Yeah.
Both of them you watch as they, in their scimitars, begin burning brightly with fire. And this is going to be a total of 6 attacks against you, Talmud.
Oh, should be fun.
I just happen to have 60/20s here.
When you ready an attack, you can only take a single attack.
Oh, you are right. You are right. Thank you. Thank you for that, because this was a held action.
No problem. That would have been
Thank you.
Cuisinart.
It's still going to be fiery.
Show.
That is going to be a 13 and a 14.
Excuse me, gentlemen.
All right. They as surprising as fire elementals can be, or surprised. They're definitely surprised that they missed you. As more surprised that you came charging in like that.
Nobody expects the Dwarven Inquisition. I'm going to charge. I'm going to charge in and ducking between kind of they're crossing scimitars. He kind of ducks even lower and runs right between them, closing with the fire elemental itself, and then is going to swing for a 23 to hit.
Yep.
And a 29 to hit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool. All right, so this is 13 points of slashing damage magical, and the same 19 points.
This fire elemental is now a full 10 feet shorter than it was, and much dimmer than it originally was. All of you have dealt significant damage to it from what you can tell. All right. That's going to bring us all the way back to the top of the order with Cantriel. You're about 15 feet further back in the hallway next to Fig.
And I can still see the big dude.
You can see the big dude, and you can also now see the two fire myrmidons that attempted to attack Talmud, but he ducked underneath them.
Okay, and I take fire damage, right?
Yes, unless you take time to put yourself out, you will take 3 points of fire damage.
I'll eat that. And look at the big guy, and in utter disgust and frustration, you need to just go away. And she's going to try and polymorph him into a frog. Because why not?
Sure. I just gotta check. Okay. So what kind of save is that again?
It is a wisdom 15.
Let me see how wise.
Oh, I hope he's stupid.
What's the DC?
15.
$16. There was a 15 on the die. All right.
I believe she's calling for a reroll.
Yep. Oh, he knows me.
Oh, I
he
know.
knows
Okay.
me.
Natural 20.
Can I make you do it again?
You can spend them as much as you want.
One more time. I really want to see this turn into a frog.
6. There is the sound of, let's see, hold on, we were at, I'm doing the math here. We were at 96, 94, there we go. I'll give you your appropriate number. The fire just goes.
That's better.
And there's now a bright red frog in the middle of the ash pile in the center of this room. Okay. Cantriel / V looks very pleased with
No,
themselves.
because I'm laughing at the image of this one then. And then I will drown, darling. You said something about the fire and you're getting inspiration on top of it.
Drown something fire. All right. Let's see. So Ronald is dead. It is Drown's turn.
Burn me.
$11 points of fire damage.
Dang, very consistent. Okay, so as Drown burns, he will grit his teeth against the pain, wrap his staff on the ground, and water will begin to run down it, and all of the coral will bloom. And I'm going to cast Create Water and cause it to rain in a 30-foot cube. Should be enough to get all of us, and that extinguishes open flames.
So you fill this entire hallway. Everybody but Talmud, who you specifically told not to worry about the fire. Talmud ran 15 feet into the room.
30 feet on a side.
Oh, yeah, you're right. That'll go into the room. Not only that, that is going to affect the two Myrmidons.
Yeah, they have the same fire elemental thing, right? Where they take up.
Yeah, it's water based or movement based.
So it creates 10 gallons, but that falls in a 30-foot cube. So
and it instantly turns into muddy ash as it comes raining down. But it does what you wanted it to do, which is to extinguish yourself and your allies.
Yep. So there's that's my action. I still have a tentacle in the room, so I will strike at one of the Myrmidons that are trying to carve up Talmud with the water tentacle.
All right, what you're moving in directly to engage?
No. I'm using. I remember I created.
Oh, that's right. You have the
tentacle
that's in there. Yep.
So 17. It might not hit.
The tentacle lashes out, and you hear this sort of metallic ring as it bounces harmlessly off of the Myrmidon's armor.
I suspected. Okay, that's my turn.
Both Myrmidons are now going to engage with the closest target, which is Talmud. Talmud, first I need to see if their now extinguished scimitars relight. They do not. So you're still getting 6 attacks, but they're not flaming scimitar attacks.
Well, that was an unexpected benefit.
Indeed, thank you.
First attack, Talmud, is... Whoops, what is the bonus there? First attack is a 10. Second attack is an 11. Third attack is a 24. 10. 23. 13. 2 of the 6 attacks will connect. Dealing... What?
Sounds like rerolls to me.
Were you calling for rerolls, Talmud?
No.
That will be 19 points of slashing damage.
Just normal slashing?
Yes.
So I take
no.
9?
No.
They are magical slashing.
Well, that doesn't matter for barbarians.
It does not matter because
sweet.
It's slashing damage nonetheless.
Nice. Okay, so I take 9?
Yes.
10.
Yep, you will take 9 points.
9 times.
From these two. You would see now that the fire elemental is a frog, you would see the other 2 Myrmidons take hesitant steps, or what would be steps if they had feet, towards the frog, but they don't take any action. And you almost see the 2 of them sort of like looking at each other like, what? This is unexpected. That is going to take us to Griveth. You are in the hallway, Griveth, with no target any longer. But you can easily get to these 2 Myrmidons in the room if you wish.
All right. So is that all we have left? Well, the
Cantriel will scream, "Leave the frog alone!"
Can I step on it?
No! Leave it alone entirely.
All right. I got it. So I go step on. No, I'm just kidding. So I as I pass Thorgarn, or did Thorgarn already run out?
Thorgarn didn't go in.
Okay, that's right. Okay. So I as I pass Thorgarn, I kind of do like a pauldron slam, like, yeah, yeah, bruh, we got it, So we tag team this thing, bam, so he runs in, and yeah, we're gonna take care of one of these Nerdarchs. Okay, okay. Wait a minute. There's just the 2 of those left, right?
There's 4.
Oh, there's 4.
There's 2 that are guarding the door on the far side of the room, 30 feet away.
Okay, but they haven't moved over yet?
No, they took sort of a tentative step towards the frog, but they didn't actually move. So they're 30 feet across the room, which puts them some 50 feet away from you at least.
Okay. I'm going to try to position myself so that I block from, getting to Fig. And I'm going to cast Bless at 2nd level. So so everybody but Fig will get the D4. So that's saving throws and a hit. So yeah, I'm just going to kind of stand guard, cast Bless, and that's it.
All right.
Bless my friend Zeldath. Bring us through this alive.
The frog leaps 10 feet through the ash. To the south. Sort of at the feet of, sort of leaping past Thorgarn and at the feet of the Myrmidons.
Just rolled a scatter die to see where the frog went.
It's a frog. I mean, it's not taking any decisive. Oh shoot! I just broke my armrest. Something just snapped. All right. Mental note. Fix that if I can. Yeah, it's a frog. It's just making a random jump. So that is the big elemental's turn. Fig, it is your turn.
Fig is laying face down in the soupy ash as he is down. He has to make a death saving throw.
Oh, the being on fire got you?
Cripes, I didn't realize Fig was down.
Yep.
Had you ever actually stood up?
Yeah, Fig stood up for one turn.
Standing up, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so Fig is rolling a death saving throw.
Okay. And I don't know where my Atcon D20 is, which was what I usually use for my saving throws. So, the
Same.
gremlin. Oh.
Connor to the rescue.
Yeah,
Shout out to Connor for the help action.
Oh my god! That's a 20.
Wow. That's incredible. Fig's light will not stay out. You're back up at 1 hit point. Reboot. Scotty says in our side chat, reboot. All right. I always am unclear on this. When you make a successful death save and you're revived, are you able to take actions, Dan?
Yep, it's at the start of your turn.
Okay,
You
that's what I
regain
thought.
consciousness.
So you have your turn, Fig.
Okay. Fig is not. I imagine Fig is on fire, which has not or was on fire, which is not good for metal parts. I imagine that as he gets up, you can almost hear and see that some of his joints have almost been soldered together as he peeks in to this room to see the 4 things. And he wants to get as many of them as he can within a 40-foot cube.
Let's see. So that's going to be 10, 20, 30. You could get all 4 of them, but you will also get Talmud and the frog in that cube.
That's okay. I get to choose which creatures I want.
Okay.
Oh no, that's fine. You see Fig kind of like, I don't think he would have even stood up. He's more just like crawling, and he peeks out into the room, and you see him stretch out his arm, and immediately, as if he's turning a dial from his hand, you feel like this heartbeat, like boom, 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 and it gets really slow as he casts slow on the 4.
My favorite spell as a player, my least favorite spell as a DM, and it's always M that's casting it against my baddies.
Yes. So they have to make a wisdom saving throw, please.
Imagining that Fig's plates are like pinging and cracking from the heat, and then
Oh,
the cold
yeah.
of the water pouring on them.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. So wisdom saving throws. This ought to be good. So I'm going to roll first the 2 closest. The one on the left got a 16. The one on the right got a 3. The furthest one left gets a 9, and the right one gets a 2. So one of them saves.
Nope, my save is 17.
One of them does not save. None of them save.
One of them does not save, and neither do the other 3.
So they have a -2 penalty to AC and Dex saving throws. They cannot use reactions. They only can use an action or a bonus action, but not both.
And they can only make one of multi-attacks.
Yes. Yep.
So it's a -2. What did you say their speed is halved?
Yeah, their speed is halved. Yep.
Okay. I've had this happen enough to my baddies that I should know it by heart. Okay. Well played, Fig.
And then after that, I think Fig is just going to collapse at the door. Just hang out there.
I almost imagine Fig moving close. You hear that pinging metal sound, the screeching of what was smooth joints kind of rubbing against each other from the slag, and one leg doesn't quite bend the way you want it to, so you're sort of dragging it, and then you just slump just around the corner of the door, kind of like opposite of where Drown is. Just that heavy sound of metal as you sort of slam back into that corner by the door. And Thorgarn, it's your turn.
Eldath blesses you.
I am now on fire. I have a massive 4 hit points. I can heal either Fig or myself, or I can toss the hammer, a couple of times.
Sounds like a euphemism.
What do you guys think is the best action here?
You could use the 3. You could use the recovery, the domain dice.
I have healing that I can do instead of that.
I know, but you can still take your action, right?
Well, that would take my action.
No, it takes your action to use the domain dice to heal.
Oh, I thought you said it was like a second wind.
Well, I was comparing comparatively, but I did say that it takes an action to do it.
I'll shut up.
I would say probably heal yourself. Fig is fine.
I would say physician, heal thyself. Yeah.
I will use all of my lay on hands, and I will heal myself.
Maybe leave 1 point for defibrillation purposes.
Oh, okay.
Defibrillation. I don't know if that was genuine or courtesy. Either way, I'll take it.
No, that got me.
All right, so Thorgarn's using his action to heal himself. Talmud, you are engaged with the two Myrmidon that are not hitting you for as much as they're swinging their swords.
Okay, Is one of them look worse off than the other?
The left one is the only one that's actually taken any damage at all.
Okay. Then I will round on the left one. And still glowing blue from the tattoos stepping up to where you can kind of partially see his reflection in some of the metal of the scimitar that they wield. He's going to swing his own weapon at them once again, recklessly, and with the blessing of the waterfall goddess as well. Thank you. That's going to be 26 on the first one.
How much?
26 to hit.
Oh, yeah.
And my D4 now became a caltrip. That's not going to be a blessing later. 29 on the second one.
Yeah.
Okay. The first to hit is going to be 14 points of damage. Magical
14?
slashing, 14. And then the second is going to be measly 11.
All right.
And correct me if I'm wrong, Jake. You do quaffing potions as a bonus?
Correct. The quaffing of a potion is a bonus action.
I think I have one of those. If I do, I'm going to drink it.
And thanks to our friend Spike, you have earned yourself another 2 domain dice, putting you at
Gracias, senor.
96.
Ooh, I'm not sure if I actually have a potion. I'm going to check on that. If I do, I will drink it. If not, then I will still be in the same boat I am.
Typical Thorgarn or Talmud in the middle of a fight, checking his pockets for something to drink.
Wait a second. I had one of those somewhere. It was probably pouring down his throat at one point.
Well, if not, you've got some Kier. Or whatever it's called. I can't. It's not Kier.
Kirgen.
Kirgen.
Kirgen. The
half
guy
of it.
from the Highlander.
So that
Gravelly
was
voice.
all right. That is going to take us to the top of the order, and we will find out what Cantriel does when we come back from our break. It is 9:52. It is time for our break. I'm going to see if I can figure out if I actually broke my chair or just knocked something loose. But we will return in about 10 minutes and continue with this battle in the crematorium. And every time I say that, I hear Metallica's Sanatorium in my head. Sanitarium. I just hear crematorium. That's all I know. That's all the singing you're going to get out of me. So we're going to take a quick break. Thank you, everybody who is tuned in and is watching this battle with us, and to all of you awesome people that are subscribing, gifting subs, dropping bits, all that good stuff to keep these Dawnbringers flush with domain dice. We appreciate it, and we hope to see you when we return in just 10 minutes. And we're back. Cantriel. It is your turn. There are the 4 myrmidons and a frog in the semicircular room, the crematorium, and also a raging Talmud.
Okay.
Bless.
Yes, but I'm going to be using Bane instead on 3 of them. And pointing to the frog, you all need to start learning how to behave yourselves, because clearly this one didn't know what he was in for. And cast Bane on 3. So let's make it the 2 that are closest to Talmud and 1 by the door.
Left or right, 1 by the door?
Left.
Okay. They are baned.
They have to do a charisma saving throws.
What is that charisma? That's going to be an 11, a 12, and a 12.
Miss.
They are baned.
Yes. Yeah, so add that D4 in for fun
All right.
with your slow.
Yeah. And is that all you got?
I still can't walk into that room without getting one of those little buggers to attack, right?
I'm sorry, say that again?
I can't walk into the room itself without getting one of them trying to attack me. Attack of opportunity mode.
No, they're far enough away from the door. You've got plenty of room to move into the room and move tactically.
I kind of want to try and start stalking the frog.
Okay. Currently, the frog is sort of at the feet of the myrmidons, and Talmud has so far avoided stepping on it. But yeah, you can absolutely. You got enough room that you could move into the room. You can't really attempt to grab the frog yet because you used your action to cast Bane.
Okay.
So, are you gonna? Where do you want to go?
I want to get enough where I can be closer to the frog, but not be in swing distance. How's that?
Okay.
I'm not that type of swinger.
I'm going to, yeah, you kind of pull up short, so you're within about 5 feet. We'll call it 6, so you're out of reach.
Okay.
So you kind of move about 5 feet or so into the room,
Okay.
poising, looking for an opportunity to grab the frog.
Perfect.
Drown. It's your
So
turn.
Cantriel is just 5 feet into the room. Is that right?
Correct.
Did I hear that correctly?
And I
so
imagine
still-
she's crouching and reaching out like that,
So, so the frog is like away from the battle and the myrmidons, and it's kind of hopped over nearish where we are. Is that? Am I getting?
No.
Right.
She's moving towards where Talmud is fighting the 2 myrmidon, and the frog is at their feet because it had jumped south, basically towards the fray, and it's just avoiding getting stepped on at the moment.
Okay, so there's 2 myrmidons by the frog and Talmud, 2 more farther across the room at the doors, right?
Correct.
All right. So can I move into the room, scooch to the side a little bit?
Left or right?
What I want to, you're going to have to tell me. I'm going to describe what I want to happen, and you tell me if I can make it happen. I'm about to unleash a gigantic cone. Can I set it up such that I can clip one of the Myrmidon fighting Talmud and then the 2 at the door? I definitely want to shift it over to avoid hitting Talmud, and definitely
You're going to go
avoiding-
right. Talmud turned to the left to engage that
Okay.
one.
That's
So
fine.
if you get in and shift right, you'll be able to clip. What's the range on your cone?
60 feet.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So then I will head into there, and I will blast one of the Myrmidons engaging Talmud, being very careful to not hit the frog, and will easily catch the other 2 by the door because the cone will widen out by that point. So I'm going to cast Cone of Cold on these chumps. They need to make Constitution saves with a DC of 20.
Okay. So 3 d20s. What's their con? Their con
It's
is
not a bad roll.
11. 19.
Fail.
Natural 20.
Ah!
Making it a 22.
Okay, so this is fun. Is that one of the ones that's baned?
Actually,
Yeah,
they're all
you have-
baned. Or wait,
Bane. 3 of them are baned. So
Only we are.
Hold on,
One
uh,
of
Two
the
of them.
Myrmidons is
hold
not
on.
banned.
So the way I rolled would have been the closest one to you first, which rolled the 11. So that one failed. The second roll was a 19.
Fail.
That's not baned.
the second
Um,
one.
And the
yeah, 'cause
one
only
that got
one
the
of them
natural
are-
20 for the 22 is baned.
So roll a d4 for the bane. If you roll a 3 or 4, he fails.
That's a 1. It's a 21.
He passes. All right.
He passes.
Worth a shot. Worth a shot. Okay, so it's 42 cold damage, and so the one
Holy-
he passed will only take 21.
Holy snowballs. All right, so I gotta figure out which of these ones are getting it. That one is not. And that one is 42 for this one. Oh, wait. Okay. Sorry about that weird sound. Slow leak. 42. That one. Yeah, that one's also 42. You said the other one takes half damage? The one that
21.
passed? So
Spend 2
that's
on core
21.
damage for him.
Okay. Much steam rises up from them.
Yes. So I will actually move up next to Talmud and kind of get in the face of the one that I got with the cone of cold that he's fighting, and just kind of basically get up in its face and harass it a little bit.
And all 4 of these Myrmidons now look as if the flame is moving in slow motion. They're still burning bright, but the flames are... And they seem to be struggling to move. The 2 closest to each of you, they're gonna each use their 1 attack against Drown and Talmud, and they are both baned, so I'll be rolling d4s along with those attacks. First, I need to see if their Flame Strike recharges. It recharges for the one against you, Drown. Does not recharge against Talmud. So,
can I do something a little unorthodox? I am basically not going to try and defend myself to my full extent, so I'll give the one who's trying to hit me advantage.
okay.
Kind of want him to hit me.
Okay. So that's going to be with advantage. That's a natural 20.
Of course it is. All right.
But that gets reduced to a 17 with the Bane.
Oh, it still hits. I mean, it's a natural 20. It hits.
Okay. Well, then you are going to take 6, 10 plus the roll. 20. No, not 21. That's 10, 11 points of slashing damage, and 17 points of fire damage.
Ooh, baby.
I think you had said that this one did not ignite his blade.
It was the one against you that didn't ignite. The one against Drown did ignite.
Yeah.
Oh, he's taking both of them on. Okay.
No. He's taking the one on the right. That's the one that its flame blade did ignite. Ignite. The one that you're engaged with did not ignite.
Right.
Okay, I see.
So
that was 27
total points of damage.
27 total. All right, I'm going to use my reaction to burn the tentacle that was nearby to have that damage. So I will take 13. And he will eat the last of my temporary hit points and take 25 cold damage from my Armor of Agathis.
All right, and I just gave you all another domain dice because Unmade Gaming just raided us. So thank you for that. Welcome, Unmade Gaming. We're in the middle of what looks to be a session-long boss fight. So the one that attacked you, what was the total damage?
25 cold damage from the last of my Armor of Agathis.
All right, so that's this one. He takes 25. Another hissing And as it struck you, and I imagine from this blast of the armor of Agathis, you watch in slow motion as that burning scimitar is extinguished once again. And then the one against you, Talmud, is baned. That is a natural 20, again, with the same die.
Okay. How much is a reroll for that?
It's 2 for a reroll.
Yeah, please do.
All right. Rolling the same die, because it's been good to me so far. That is a natural 12. -4. That's 8 to hit. Well, actually, with its bonus, that's a 15 to hit you.
Very close.
But it doesn't hit.
Shiny dangles.
That after the bane?
That's with the bane.
Can I do a sentinel attack?
Are you in the room?
Oh.
You were
I
in
came
the
in.
hallway defending Fig.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's cool.
Because you defended Fig because you gave everybody but Fig bless. Jeremy. I'm going to make a insight roll for the 2 Myrmidon on the far side of the room. Ability checks are not affected by Bane, so that is a natural 20 on the same die. It's this Rook and Raven die, I think, from Die Hard. And the one on the left gets a 7. So the one on the right, on the far side of the room, you watch as it begins moving toward the frog. I need to check the range because it can only move.
Bring him down, Legolas.
It can only move half speed. 5, 10, 15, 20. It can get to the frog. And it only gets to take 1 action. I need to bring up my frog stats. I know it has only 1 hit point, but I don't remember what its AC is. Definitely a single digit, I'm sure. Okay. It has an AC of 11. This is the one that is not baned. But it can, let's see if it can. Nope.
It's slowed.
You're right. So you see it moving in slow motion and raising the whole time this scimitar, and then it brings it down at the frog. Off the table. That is a 5 on the die. It gets a +7 to hit, which is 12. And the frog's AC is 11.
Can you you don't have cutting words, do you? You're a College of Valor. Damn. Burn 2 domain dice to reroll.
Is it really worth it?
To avoid popping that fire elemental back out?
He's got a 15% chance. Got to roll a 1, 2, or 3.
Correct.
Okay.
Better than a 100% chance, which he has right now.
Okay. Go for it.
The new roll, 26.
Well, there you go.
As the scimitar comes down, and I imagine, Cantriel, you're getting close and the feet are sort of moving apart, and you see the frog, and then there's this sort of rack focus as you see the slow motion Myrmidon behind its scimitar coming down, and it hits this frog, and the frog splits and flares up immediately back to not the full 40 feet, but back to its 25 feet of height as it is reverted back into. I need to roll the damage because that damage does carry over to the elemental. So that's going to be 8 points of damage. Wouldn't that be funny if it killed the elemental in the process? It would be. It's not going to happen, but it would be funny. And all right, whose turn are we on? It was the Myrmidons. They've completed. Griveth, you are up.
Okay, so this frog bursts back into its fire elemental form.
Yes, there's suddenly a big flare of light as the elemental is back into its fire form.
Okay. Griveth sees this is bad. This is really bad. This could be really bad. So he glances toward the dwarves and he says, "Witness me." And he charges into the fire elemental to attack with Dawnbringer. 20.
Yep.
And a 19.
Those are both hits.
All right. I am going to do a super crit.
Okay.
Does it look still in decent shape, or does it look like it's about
Smite it.
put down?
Put it down.
Smite
It's hard to
it.
tell. I mean, it's noticeably diminished by quite a bit. The flames look less fierce. It's more like a campfire that's getting near the end of the night. But you can't really tell how much it's got left.
Okay.
Waterfall does not trickle, it roars. Kaboom.
So you are spending 5 domain dice to crit, super crit?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm also unleashing smite. Let's do this. Let's put this sucker down. Hold on, I gotta figure this out. So it is 200 damage even.
What? You should have done this back when the
twice the
thing first showed up. I imagine there is a moment where Griveth says, "Witness me," charges into the fray. The two Myrmidons are moving so slowly that they can't even react as he runs past them. And he virtually disappears between the light of Dawnbringer combining with the light of this elder fire elemental. There's a tremendous burst of light, and all of the fire seems to just implode in upon itself. And the room almost seems dark for a moment as the illumination cuts by almost half, making the Myrmidons appear dim. As a single ember flutters down at your feet, Griveth, and you watch as a single ember and explodes. I need Cantriel, all 4 Myrmidon, Talmud, to make... And Thorgarn, you're not in the room still, right? You're still in the hall?
Oh.
So Talmud, Cantriel, Drown, Griveth, and all of the Myrmidon need to make dexterity saving throws.
I have a question for you, Jake. Can I throw myself in the way, take full damage, and so that they automatically save?
You want to jump on the elemental grenade, so to speak. I will allow it.
All right.
You are going to take one. Where's all my D10s? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, Griveth, you are going to take 8, 14, 19, 21, 26, 33, 34, 35, 36, 7, 38, 39, 41, 43 points of fire damage.
Griveth lives! He lives!
Oh my gosh.
He's hurting pretty bad, but he lives.
Griveth dives down into this where the elemental was, and for a moment nobody seems to know what even happened. And then there's this, and Griveth's entire body lurches about 3 feet into the air. There's a rush as air pushes out to the sides in every direction, sending this ash cascading up into the air. For the next round, the area is obscured by all of the dust and ash in the air. And Griveth is lying there smoldering for the moment.
You hear a wispy, raspy voice from Griveth, and he says, "Yesha, did you get that?"
Somewhere back at the end of the hall, just barely peering around the corner, Yesha's furiously scribbling in her journal.
Why does it smell like burning jockstrap?
It smells like burnt baby oil. Oh, okay. So the Elder Fire Elemental is no more, but there are still the 4 Myrmidon to contend with.
And did you say it's heavily obscured in here? So fog cloud, basically.
Basically, for the next round, it's fog cloud. It would be its turn. Fig, it is your turn.
Fig. You see Fig's head peer back around the corner, only about a foot off the ground, as he's still just on basically laying down, just kind of like peering over, seeing. What does so heavily? What does that mean?
You're basically
Heavily
blinded.
Yeah, we're blinded.
Any attack rolls are at disadvantage. And you cannot use anything that requires sight, or you fail any checks that require sight.
So, like a ranged spell attack would be made at disadvantage?
If it requires sight, you can't even do it.
No, ranged attacks are fine, but if it's a spell that says you have to see your target, then it's no good.
Yeah.
But if the spell requires an attack, that's different.
Yeah, if it's like firebolt, you just
yeah. That will be at disadvantage.
You do that with disadvantage.
Okay. That's what Fig's gonna do, because that's really all Fig can do right now.
And you're firing at?
Talmud. Just why not?
Out of his misery. That's fine.
Yeah. Oh boy. Okay. That is a 14 to hit. Oh yeah. Whoops. Sorry. Yep, that's a 14. Mm-hmm.
You see your firebolt shoot into the general area where the Myrmidons are, and it doesn't even get to him, and you lost the firebolt in the dust cloud. You hear it impact on the far wall somewhere.
Yep. That's all we can do. I hope everyone is all right in there, he calls out.
No.
Thorgarn, you are up.
All right. So if I begin making my way towards the melee, am I able to ascertain enough to be able to make an attack roll, or because I wasn't really there when the smoldering happened, I can't really find a target?
You know roughly where they were, so you could run in that direction and make your attacks at disadvantage. Left or right?
I'm going to go to the right. So that is a 25 to hit.
Okay.
On the first one. Oh. I still get D4. All right, so disadvantage turns that into goes to 13, 14. Guessing is going to miss. With
The 14 is going to miss. Drown, you see this.
I missed with a 17, so.
Drown, you see this for just a moment in the shifting dust. You see the dwarven form of Thorgarn wielding Forgefane come blazing past you, and you hear the connection and a bit of brightness as he strikes the Myrmidon with his first attack, but there's a metallic ringing sound as you hit armor on your second attack.
So I'm going to come in with Faithkeeper for my third. That is a 17 plus 3, so for a dirty 20.
Let's see, that was the right one. So 20 points of damage.
No, it's dirty 20 to hit.
Oh, for your third attack?
Yes.
Sorry, you
Okay.
hadn't rolled damage yet.
Nope.
All right, that'll hit.
I am not going to roll damage. I am just going to lay waste on the crits to reduce our threats. So I am going to do 2 super crit smites for 126.
Okay. Hold on a second. Let me get this, because this has been a long time since you guys have been this low on domain dice. I mean, you're at 78, but Thorgarn, you dealt 126 points of damage to the creature that had 123 points remaining. You're the only one that sees this because of being the close proximity in the dust cloud. But what do you see as you destroy this one Myrmidon?
So I go in with a flurry of hammer strikes. The first one goes in, and there's apparently some kind of metal armor on these things. So the first one manages to sink in, and there's a visible hammer print over where it's roughly heart chest is with the first strike. So there's indentation, which causes him to kind of reel back. I come in for a second strike, which he winds up deflecting with his scimitar. But as I come in with Faithkeeper, the burning light of Moradin kind of rears into that one as well, and it just kind of comes in and crushes from the other side into his shoulder and into his chest cavity before it just slumps out and its fire burns no more.
All right, Thorgarn, you have eliminated one of the 4 Myrmidon.
I was gonna
Talmud, you hear the sound close behind you as Talmud rushes in. Nope, Thorgarn. Talmud, you hear the sound behind you as Thorgarn rushes in and eliminates this Myrmidon at your back. You can hear movement muffled around you. The room almost seems quiet, compared to the sound of that roaring fire elemental, as that fire is suddenly snuffed out, you can hear probably a bit of groans from Griveth somewhere nearby on the floor. Cantriel nearby shuffling, as she was looking for the frog that is no more. What would you like to do, Talmud?
Still have the one that was engaged with me that's fighting, yeah?
Yep.
So, kind of trying to keep his ears peeled as best as he can in this kind of ash cloud that's been kicked up. He is going to kind of concentrate as best he can, hearing things, even though he's got this ancestral spirit kind of coming out of the front of his face. He's going to bide his time and then charge towards the first noise that he hears that sounds like the slashing of the Myrmidon's scimitars, and bring Ghost Cleaver around once and then a second time, attacking recklessly. So it should give a wash to the attack roll.
Yep. So you'll make those at straight rolls.
Normal. Okay. That's a dirty 20 on the first.
Okay, hit.
The second is a 22.
Both are hits.
I am likewise going to double dip into the auto crit, super crit.
I'm not even going to change the number because our friend Staff and TJ just tipped $10 to the domain, which is good for 2 domain dice. So Staff and TJ just sponsored your super crit. As the gods and the demigods in chat are endorsing this battle wholeheartedly. So what is that super crit, double super crit damage?
So the total would be 42 points of damage.
You
Right?
swinging recklessly.
You're swinging a great axe.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
12,
D12.
24, 48 plus your
Yeah, I do a D12 plus 9. Oh, so it's 2 hits. That's what it is. Each one of them. Sorry.
Oh, each one of them is 42?
Each one of them is 42. Yeah.
That makes more sense.
Yep.
Good catch, Ted.
Yes, thank you.
It's still standing, from what you can tell, but you just recklessly wield this Ghost Cleaver back and forth, and you feel it slicing. You feel it cutting through armor as you do so. You even hear pieces of armor falling away, and the light growing noticeably dimmer. Thorgarn, where the Myrmidon was directly in front of you, you hear from that space and from where its armor fell to the ground, you hear as an ember of light rises up from the ground, and 3 flaming missiles of fire are going to arc into you from directly in front of you. In the light of these, where the Myrmidon was, you see a human-sized skull burning, and you're getting hit with 3 magic missiles. So you are going to take...
Is it not still obscured? Has that cleared? Did I miss that?
Nope, you are correct. That's right.
Okay.
It won't be able to do that. So instead... No,
I didn't help us. Don't anyone get your hopes up.
No. All right, so Thorgarn, Talmud,
Yes, sir.
Drown, and Cantriel, you're all right in this area. And the blind is... You automatically fail... Where is it? Make dexterity saving throws at disadvantage. I'm not sure if you're supposed to automatically fail those. I don't know.
For being blinded? No. No, it doesn't have any effect on dex saves.
17.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I've also got to make saves for the Myrmidons.
Pretty sure they're immune.
Wait, actually, I think they are immune to that.
Stop helping the DM.
Oh yeah.
I'm not gonna let him do fireball damage to a fire elemental. That's ridiculous.
Okay.
Easing Dan.
12, 22, 28, 32, 33.
Oh.
I gotta check the save DC on this real quick.
That was a good roll. Owie.
Okay, what's everybody's saves?
17.
Save.
15. Oh, bless.
Oh, yeah.
Wait. Is he still concentrating on bless after getting his
Oh,
ass blown
that's a
to
good
smithereens?
point.
I have to make a check. Let's see here.
Con save.
That's
Con, thank you.
that's
It'd be like half the damage. So
it's half the damage, which was
43
so it'd be a
was the
DC
full?
21 con save.
Yup.
Oh, okay, I didn't make it.
So nobody's blessed
You
anymore.
get to add the bless to it.
All right. So what's everybody's saves?
So 17.
15.
Do they get the +3 for being near me? I am conscious.
You would get that.
30, 20 then.
The 20, 18, Cantriel.
25.
Save. Talmud.
Very dexterous.
She's so quick.
Mine was a 13.
What was it?
13.
That's a
That
save.
lucky number. Oh, good.
So instead of, I forgot the number already. It was 12,
You
22.
said 33.
I heard 33.
That's a real good
So you will all take 17 points of fire damage.
Oh.
Oh. Griveth is down.
As a fireball explodes right at your feet, Thorgarn. Thorgarn.
Owie. I'm still standing, but owie.
Now we are back at the top of the order. It is Cantriel's turn. Cantriel, are you still up?
Mostly?
She's not all dead. She's only mostly dead.
Yeah. God. I hate to say it. I think I'm going to cure wounds on her. Just have her cure wounds herself.
All right. And are you going to stay put?
Still can't see, right?
Correct.
Yeah, just gonna heal and stay put for now.
Okay. Cantriel heals, stays put. That takes us to drown.
Oh god. All right. So Griveth went down. How spread out is everyone? Like, how far is, say, Talmud and
Drown, Thorgarn,
into
Talmud,
the room?
Thorgarn, Talmud, and Griveth and Cantriel are all within roughly 10 feet. Pretty clustered, actually, in the middle of this room, with one
How
Myrmidon.
far away from Fig are they?
Fig is still in the hallway.
Yeah.
So Fig is, let's see, 5, 10, 15, 20, probably 25 feet away. No, 20, because Fig had moved up to the doorway.
Bless you. Okay. All right. 25 was
That
the
5
magic
feet
FU
made
number.
the difference.
Yep. I was like the whole time I'm going, please say 20, please say 20, please say 20, please say 20. All right. Okay. I've got a plan. All right. So everybody's blinded, so nobody's going to get opportunity attacks. I'm going to run over to where I heard Griveth, and probably can see the glow, kind of the diffuse glow of Dawnbringer. And I'm going to grab him and drag him back as close as I can get to the door.
Okay.
So he was pretty close to me. So I can probably get to where I'm within, kind of in the middle range, where it's 10 feet to Fig, 10 feet to the guys in the room. Is that reasonable?
Yes.
All right. So I'm going to get there, and then for my action, I'm going to touch the helm that I'm wearing and ready a teleport to get us the F out of here.
Okay.
This is bad. The trigger for that is as soon as I can see.
Okay. That's right. You have the
I need the
Anubis. You have the Anubis like helm of teleportation.
Yep.
All right. And when
did that thing go off? I don't even remember.
What's that?
I was trying to remember when the ash cloud went off.
The ash cloud went off when the fire elemental burst. And I had said it would be one full round. Yeah. So it was on Griveth's turn. It'll be at the start of Griveth's turn that it settles back down.
Which is after these guys. Frick. Okay.
Okay. Yep, it's the one next to Talmud. It is your turn, or its turn. Rolling a Dawnbringer die, because why not? And its flame recharges. So it will make a single flaming scimitar attack at disadvantage. That's going to be an 11. Actually... Cantriel, did you make a con check for Bane? That would be...
Got 11.
You got an 11.
17 damage. The DC would be 10.
Yeah, DC would be 10. So you just made it. So you still have that up. So, yeah, it definitely is going to miss you, Talmud. It's like a 9 to hit you.
It would actually have advantage against me. And then
yeah, you're right.
Because I'm down.
Yeah, it still would have missed you. The other two are closing in, and they are swinging at the dwarves. One each. Same thing. Let's see if they flame on. They do not. And then that would be disadvantage. That one is baned. So Thorgarn. Oh, that is a -1 to hit. It's actually a 6. And then Talmud. That's like an 8 to hit you. So they can't see for Jack in this mess. So all 4, or rather 3 Myrmidons have gone. Griveth, it is your turn. I need a death saving throw.
Yes.
And does the ash clear?
Yes, as Griveth is making his saving throw, the ash has settled enough that you're no longer heavily obscured. It's still kind of dusty in there. It has that sort of snowfall effect. But you can now see the dwarves are completely
and
almost
Talmud
completely
is
surrounded.
Down. Yeah. Frick.
First one has failed. I float closer to the gates of death.
All right, so as soon as the ash clears, you can see that there's a crackling bluish glow around Drown's helmet, and he's just watching, his eyes sort of darting around. And the second that it clears enough that you can see him clearly, he opens his hand, and there's a blinding flash of blue light, and we all vanish. And now I get to roll some percentile dice and see if I kill us.
All right.
So my destination is the deck of the Evangeline.
Okay.
Which I would say I probably know pretty well.
You know the deck of the Evangeline. I'll say yes.
A place I've been very often.
The deck, yes, I will allow that.
Okay. Here we go. 35, we're good. We're on target. Oh.
And that's all of you.
All of us. Including Verdi.
How many people is it?
Up to 8 creatures. You and up to 8 willing creatures of your choice that you can see.
Did you teleport Yesha?
Oh, if I could see her, absolutely.
How close does she have to be to you?
Within 10 feet.
And you moved, brought Griveth.
I moved back to get within 10 feet of Fig. That was
Wasn't
as far as I could
Fig
get.
At the door in the hall, because she was
back around the corner of the hallway, which is 5, 10, 15, 20 feet away from the doorway, which would put her almost 30 feet away from Drown.
Then she's out of reach.
Just because I haven't shown it at all here. Oops, wrong button. I don't know if I even have this map up yet. I think it's this one. Turn that one off. So, grabbing the "you are here" arrow, this is roughly where you were, Drown.
Okay.
This is where Yesha was at this corner.
Yeah. Yeah, I had no idea she ran that far away. Oh well.
As you all vanish, and there's this moment in this teleportation where Fig normally teleportation is instantaneous, but this instant, this moment between the blinks of an eye lasts much longer for you, as you find yourself standing in the midst of an array of great stalactites carved with small holes, windows perhaps. Small dark figures move about them and across bridges suspended between them. Before you stands a pair of charcoal-skinned, ashen-haired men with dark red eyes and pointed ears who look at each other with confusion. One of them says in a language unfamiliar yet familiar to you, not your own, but one you know. Is that all you had to say? The other figure speaks with concern. Are you all right, Githzerai? As the pair of dark elves wave their hands before you, I said, are you all right, Githzerai? You watch as this dark elf fades into nothingness, and a bright light, the smell of salt sea air, and the hardwood deck of the Evangeline appears beneath all of you. Next to you, you hear yelps of astonished crew come rushing up to all of you, looking at you. What happened? You were gone for 15 minutes and now you look like shit.
Drown is immediately pulling a potion of healing and pouring it down Griveth's gullet.
As soon as I have my wherewithal, I would be going to Talmud to cast Cure Wounds.
I don't have my D4s out.
Did Talmud drop and I missed it?
He didn't tell anyone.
Yeah, I was waiting till my turn came around to describe it.
Scotty, you get 5 hit points back.
Yay, thank you.
7 for you, Talmud.
So you immediately begin tending to wounds. Oh my gosh, I forgot her name. I think it's Velitha. Is that right? The Madam Velitha, is that right?
I think so, yeah.
The one you brought along as your cook?
Yeah.
That rings a bell.
She immediately, the notebook that I thought was my cheat sheet with all of the crew written down, this is not it. I'm looking and all I see are Warlock tile plans.
Welcome to my world.
Right. So this gnomish woman who you're very familiar with immediately starts barking orders to various people. Victor, the spectator first mate, is literally floating back and forth across the deck in wide circles screaming. He is completely confused and has no idea what to do. Some of the more stable crew members are actually working to they come running up to Griveth in particular to start removing pieces of armor to get to his burn wounds. The ship's surgeon comes in. I want to say her name was Meredith, or something, Muriel. And they begin, we see as this sort of view as the camera begins to rise high up, and we see blood pooling away from Talmud, from wounds. Everybody that was wounded bearing mostly scorch marks, burned skin. We see scrapes and pools of blood as this scene of sudden activity aboard the ship is centered around all of you as the shore of the Feywild comes into view with its brilliant pink and purple and white leaves on these trees. You can still see in the sand the footprints of yourselves and the apparatus of Qualish from when you all headed into the Feywild. And even now, judging from the little bit you've heard, it seems as if barely any time has passed for the crew of the Evangeline since you left. And that's where we're going to end tonight's session, because I was not expecting that, and I don't know what comes next.
Oh, well, I mean, what comes next is we rest. I mean,
Yeah.
we can get back in. That's no problem. We haven't like completely disengaged from the dungeon.
No.
Don't worry about that.
No.
I will say before we break, just to make sure I don't forget, the next thing Drown does after discarding the empty the empty potion vial and just sort of unceremoniously letting Griveth's head bounce off the deck as he stands up, we're covered in ash, right?
Oh yeah, you all are.
Right. So he's going to
gray,
gather
basically.
up a good handful or palmful of that ash and tuck it into the bag of tricks to make sure he has it. because we can use that to teleport back accurately. To that.
Okay, okay.
And now that I'm thinking of it, I'm going to cut a sliver of wood off the Evangeline's deck and tuck that away as well.
I'm going to say, take a point of inspiration for that.
Ooh, lovely. Thank you.
So
no more rolling. I have sympathy, so we can just bounce right in.
So I think this is a good stopping point. It's a natural shift in the action, and it's obvious that you're going to plan to take a long rest. So I would say go ahead and push that long rest button. When we return next week, it will be either during or after this rest. You have a week to decide if there's conversations you want to have, planning sessions. They can all sort of be rolled into that. And we'll see where the Dawnbringers are going to go and what's going to happen. As a slight epilogue, sort of as the end credits of the episode are rolling, they stop and we see, you first hear this sound, this sort of that sounds sort of like this, and we see a pencil scribbling furiously in a journal, and then it just suddenly stops. And Yesha looks up, peers around the corner, and goes, "Guys? Cantriel? Fig?" And then turns as she sees the Myrmidon still in the room, back against the wall, eyes wide, and just says, "Oh, shit." And we cut.
Dan feels real bad. Drown warned her.
That's why I wanted to show you the map, just so you knew I wasn't being funny with it or anything.
No, that's fine.
I was looking
truth
at.
Be told, I wasn't thinking of Yesha at all. I
that's fair.
Party and companion critter.
And that's fair. She stayed deliberately back, out of the way of the danger, and I had positioned her there earlier on. So, I actually kind of like it. It's very interesting.
That she had moved back. That was all legit.
So, if my estimations are correct, the Dawnbringers spent approximately 50 or 60 domain dice tonight. We started the session at something like 105, and you've been gifted 10, 20, 30, 35, something like that, some 35 or something like that, and you guys are down to 78 domain dice. So all right, I like this. I like that. I didn't see this coming, so it was a thing, and it's also just something you don't see a lot. People
having to flee. Yeah,
having to flee.
More D&D parties need to add that.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely absolutely brilliant action and inspiring. Why I give you the inspiration to take that ash that you were covered with.
That was a last-minute flash of legit inspiration to get us the hell out of there.
I mean, at this point,
Jake, really quick, could we have it where as soon as feet hit deck, Cantriel would have piped back to Yesha, find yourself a safe place and stay put, because I have sending. The
second end credit scene.
There you go.
is Yesha.
Yeah, after the credits, the final.
We're totally doing an Avengers thing here now. Okay?
Yesha standing there, just kind of going, and then hearing Cantriel's voice in her head, and turning to sneak away. And I'm just going to see, out of curiosity. Actually, Cantriel, why don't you go ahead and roll me that D20?
And I will throw this out there. If that room is still lightly obscured, you said there was still a lot of ash in the air, that's disadvantage on perception checks.
Okay. Devin, I'm using your new D20. This better be good.
Oh, I saw that. I saw your tweet.
Oh, Devin, I love you. I got a 17.
All right, so
Sorry.
oh, I love that pure, innocent, giddy laughter. Yeah, that's a 24 on Yesha's stealth, and with disadvantage, I rolled all single digits. People in chat are saying, so Geeky Bugbear saying, clip that. Eris says, oh, yay! Yes, credit goes to V for the roll and Devin for the wonderful inspirational gift. Absolutely gorgeous gift there. This was an exciting session for me. I hope you guys had fun with it. This is the most danger the Dawnbringers have ever been in.
Oh, it was a blast.
And I did not pull any punches. I legit considered pulling a punch near the end. And I didn't. But I just want to say a huge thank you to our audience tonight. Everybody in the chat, you are always awesome. Whether you are watching, silently lurking and not participating in chat, we appreciate you no matter what. And we appreciate those of you that gifted subscriptions, that subscribed, that sent bits to the channel, that tipped, that you literally helped. I mean, yes, they had a lot of these, but it's that sort of immediacy, I think, when you get the reward of domain dice that makes it feel extra cool when you can spend do 2 super crits and I don't have to change the number because of those gifts. So that is absolutely wonderful, and we appreciate you all in chat. So, and to be clear, even if there are no tips or bits or gift subscriptions or any of that, we still appreciate you for just hanging out with us and being a part of the Dawnbringers. So thank you all so much for being a part of this. And I just want to, real quick before we head out, remind everyone to tune in tomorrow night for 2 things. At 8 p.m., you can tune into Nerdarchy, where you will find Dungeon Master Ted leading V. I almost called her Cantriel. V's Fire Kitty, Fire Tabaxi, Pyro Kitty, I think is the nickname.
Bramble of Thorns, darling.
Bramble of Thorns, along with Raric Greybeard, my turtle. I forgot what he is. Barbarian. I always, because I started building him as a monk, and I still forget that he's a barbarian. Along with our friends Megan and Asa, as we're playing in the game over there. And then,
well, one caveat I will say, that's on the Nerdarchy live channel, not the
yeah. Sorry,
Nerdarchy.
you are yes. Thank you for that, Ted. It is on the new Nerdarchy live channel. You can follow Nerdarchy, follow myself and V on socials. We'll be tweeting those out before we go live tomorrow. And M, you are not playing this Sunday, correct? But I forgot to mention last week, and I will not forget, on Sunday nights, every other Sunday night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, you can catch M running a Dice on Ice production called The Investigator's Guide to the Paranormal, which is actually a completely original 5e hack system, whatever you call it. I don't want to call it a hack and like belittle it, but it's an original setting that M is developing, and has a tremendous group of players. The other thing you can, of course, tune into tomorrow night, right here on Mini Terrain Domain at 10 p.m. Eastern, to catch the Curse of Strahd game by Alan from CFT RPG, with Tamiko and Sam and Lionel and Chad. They are running an absolutely amazing game over there. Somebody punch in the Discord chat command. We invite you to the Discord, where there's lots of wonderful conversations happening. There's game-specific rooms. And occasionally we jump in for after game chat. I might even jump in there for a little bit since we ended early tonight. I'm going to jump into the Discord for the after game chat when I'm done chatting with everybody after the stream. I think that's all I got. The schedule's there, so you can see what other times we are streaming. So all that's left to say is thank you to Scotty, Dan, V, M, Ted, and Jeremy, without whom this would just be me talking to myself for 3 hours. With that, we are going to end the stream the same way we end every stream, and you can say it with me if you want.
I'm on fire! It burns.